It's been 30 years for Maruti in India, and what have they been well known for? Small cars. MPVs? Well, you've got the Omni, you've got the Versa, but they're not international standard MPVs. They're not the Innova, they're not the Xylo. So this, the new Ertiga, is their first serious MPV. Why do you think they're going MPV? Well, market is shifting. They want bigger cars, they want something that's more comfortable. And this, the Ertiga, promises to be that. But is it? Let's go and find out for ourselves. The Ertiga is designed by the same team that has designed the Ritz, and the links are obvious, especially here from the front end. But once you move to the profile, you realize it's a much longer car. How long? As long as the Toyota Etios. Toyota Etios. Am I saying Toyota Etios? Yeah, I mean that. That means Maruti have done a job of packaging 7 people in a car that's as long as an Etios. Now, have they succeeded at it? We'll need to go in and find out for ourselves. The interiors are a familiar place because the dashboard has been borrowed from the Swift and the Swift Desire. The quality of materials, the overall build quality is good enough for this car. In this, the Z version, the ZDI in this case, you get a fully loaded stereo system with stereo controls on the steering wheel, a multi-trip meter, and generally nice use of colors and textures. Some of you may miss the automatic climate control, but that's okay. On the whole, it's loaded enough for most practical purposes. In the second row, you get 4 vents for the air conditioning, and the seats themselves, the second and the third row, can be flipped ahead. So if you flip them over and you decide to shift your house, you can do that. But as Anish would tell you in not so many words, that it's not enough. So he'd have to probably do 3 trips to do that, because 2 of those trips would be carrying his camera equipment. If it were Kyle, he'd need 18 trips because he's got 18 motorcycles. 35. The Ertiga is based on the same platform as the Swift, and therefore it gets a lot of car-like driving characteristics. Unlike its competition, the Xylo and the Innova, which are rear-wheel drive and based on a body-on-ladder chassis, this is front-wheel drive and is a proper monocoque, which explains why it handles a lot like a car. But of course, at its absolute limit, you have to have some amount of restraint because the tall body and the higher weight don't let it behave in the way you would probably expect like a Swift would. The Ertiga comes with a choice of 2 engine options. A 1.4 litre petrol, which is a new K-series engine that produces about 94 bhp, and a 1.3 litre multi-jet which produces 90 bhp. This one comes from the SX4. What you're driving today is the 1.3 litre multi-jet, and at the absolute bottom end it could do with a little more torque, and the turbo takes a little too long to kick in, but once you pass that, it drives very well. On highways, when you're cruising at speeds of 80 or 100 kilometers per hour in 5th gear, the car has enough reserves of torque to keep you moving along with the traffic. Both the diesel and the petrol come with a 5-speed manual gearbox. There is still no choice of an automatic option in this segment. The gearbox is very slick and it shifts very well. And if you're familiar with it, it's only because it comes once again from the Swift and the Desire family. Because of its tight dimensions, it's actually quite easy to park. Unlike the Xylo or the Innova, where you need a lot more space to park and the 3-point turns are much larger, this one, because of its shorter wheelbase and the fact that it is much shorter in length, it's easier to park, it's easier to maneuver in the city. And that's something that is a clincher for the car, especially when using it in the city, which most people will tend to do with a car like this. So what have we learnt about the Ertiga today? For one, it's the most practical MPV out there. Its size, it drives like a car, and it's easy to park. 3 key advantages over cars like the Innova and the Xylo. So if you're looking for something much larger, those 2 cars make more sense. But for most practical purposes, the Ertiga should suit you very well, especially for people like you who are looking to upgrade from a hatchback to something larger. So then, the Ertiga, without a doubt, is one of the best cars on sale in India today.